dive in. Let's go down this memory lane, Rachel. So let me share the
Sure.
screen with you. Awesome. So yeah, I'm looking at a lot of the things. Maybe let's start with the calendar where we can see going back to in the beginning.
Hmm.
So like I can definitely see everything. You started on May the 9th.
Yes.
Just like all these bubble filled up and green, blue, red, orange, everything is filled up. It's so good because
Yeah.
you've been really consistent all throughout, and you upload your photos, your weights very consistently.
Hmm.
Yeah, like you barely missed anything. Like even the walking, you check marked everything. It's amazing. So that's the one question I always ask when I see a calendar like this, like how did you stay consistent and or stay disciplined in finishing your workouts or task?
Honestly, some days are very tough because like my biggest challenge is like, say, like for the walk, 20 minutes is actually not that bad. Like I walk around my house for like an hour or two sometimes, just puttering back and forth. But to be intentional about it, I think is really tricky. So when school was still going on, I would pack up the kids, walk to and from school, like for pickup, pushing like a double stroller up a hill, downhill. Like it just, yeah, I knew that like if I wasn't going to do it then I probably would, it would be hard for me to find any time during the day. So I had to do that. Or like, yeah, I just would put on like the walk on my watch and just walk around at like inside the home and then maybe do like a 10 or 15 minute, like, I don't know, some sort of video and just let my kids, roam free. So that was
Yeah,
really
because
important.
remind us, like how old are your kids again?
6 and just turned 3 and just turned 1.
Yep, busy, busy. And your
Yeah.
husband is carrying the 1 year old right now.
Yeah, exactly. And he's a shift worker, so he's not always home. So I can't always get out to like go for a walk or a run. So like I just have to try my best to like adapt and, do whatever I can at home or with the kids or so I tried my best to do walking whenever I could. And for the other exercises, a lot of times I would do it at like 10 p.m. or something whenever I could get to it, but I would get it done. So
Yeah, you always got it done. I can
yeah.
tell. Like, have you tried it earlier and the earlier time didn't work, or you always knew that 10 o'clock, that's my time and I can dedicate a time to it? Is that how you felt?
No, I would try to do it, say, right before dinner time, like, after school if they're watching TV or something. So I have a bit of downtime, but it just kind of depends on the schedule of the day. If I have things prepped for dinner time and if I'm by myself, if I'm solo parenting for basically the day, like I have to really plan properly. And yeah, sometimes I just don't plan accordingly. So I just do it whenever I can.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you're very mindful of your time and you're being creative about it. Like,
Yes.
yeah, like, I mean, I love that you say, you push the double stroller up and down the hill to send your older one to school and then you push it back. That's your walk. That's great. And you have like some resistance too with together they're probably like 30-40 pounds. Stroller is probably more.
Probably like 100 pounds. Like my second one is like 30 something pounds already. So
oh, wow. That's great. Yeah. So it's a lot of weight. Good for your upper arm workout. That's amazing. And then you come home and then you kind of like gauge how they are. Oh, so then what about when your elder one is off school? How did you manage to put the workouts in when they're home?
Maybe during nap time. So like my oldest one, he would just, he would have a quiet time and then my other two would be napping. And then I would just either, like we have a little gym in the garage. So I would either run out then or just do something here inside quickly for 20 minutes, half an hour. So yeah.
Yeah, do whatever you can, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really good. Yeah, so like we're almost at the end here, like pretty much this is the last week for this program. Amazing. So let's look at the results. Let's look at the weights first. Right now you are 136.
Yeah.
And in the beginning you were at 150. So yeah, you lost about 14 pounds. Very aggressive loss in the beginning. I think you were the one who was like, oh, am I losing enough, right?
Yeah, yes.
Am I losing enough? Is this fast enough? But yes, I assure you were doing so good.
Yeah, 1 or 2 pounds a week. I'm like, should it be more? And then if it was like only one, I'm like, oh, I was a bit disappointed like that week. Yeah. But then, yeah, now it's like point what, like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, right now, it's June 26th, June 17th, half a month, a pound and a half, and then middle of July till early August, 2 pounds. Yeah, I mean, there will be time a little harder, but I do see the trend is slower. Could do is to portion plan, are you on again?
I was on C, I think. I mean, there's a few things that kind of attribute to, I guess,
Yeah.
where I am now, like all the stuff that's been happening in the summertime, like family visiting, celebrations, all that stuff. Like I tried my best so hard to like stick to the portion control, but yeah, it was really difficult. And then it just kind of like, now has become more
trending, just not as fast. You're right. This trend started right at the end of June.
Yeah.
Right. This is the peak of the season, summertime in Vancouver. It's beautiful. You're going in about and you probably enjoying a bit more food and with the families and friends and gather and all of that. So I get that, but you mean you're not gaining for sure. You're still trending down. You're very mindful, I can tell, that you're very aware of what you needed to do. And I say that too, it's an informed choice. So like you're not sabotaging yourself, like you're not purposely to do it, but you're making an informed choice where okay, today I'm gonna enjoy this. We will look forward to next week and do what I needed to do. But if you're not like guilty about it, right?
Yeah, like if I have like 1 or 2 days where it's like, oh, I had an extra bubble tea or something, I will try for like a few days after to like really get back on track, just try to like even things out. Yeah, it's just been like a period of adjustment and just really figuring it out. And actually I stopped breastfeeding a couple days ago, so I think that maybe I need to look into recalculating.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, okay, congrats. How do you feel?
I feel fine. I mean, it is a little bittersweet because this is my last one, and like it was a nice quiet time with her, but then I figured it's time. So
yes, I get that bittersweet feeling. It's at the moment it's like, oh, finally everything. It's a mixed feeling for sure.
Yeah.
When I was weaning Emily, but then I feel like the mother, like there's instance like you kind of know that's the time. You wouldn't just be like, oh, done now, but like you kind of feel like, oh, you know what, now is a good time, let's do it. Like I feel like we are kind of mentally prepared for it, and at the same time it's like we have that feeling, but at the same time it's like so freeing. Oh no, you're not attached to my boobs anymore.
Oh, I know. Like honestly, the last few days, well, to be honest, the reason why I weaned her is because I would like to get laser eye surgery. So I figured, like they don't suggest you get it if you are breastfeeding. So I had an appointment. So I was like, okay, like that's it, we're done. And then, so I just cut her off. Last night we went to the Backstreet Boys concert. So we had to leave earlier. So I was like, oh, that's good. I don't have to like, spend time with her and like put her down. You know what I mean? I just put her down and I was out the door. So.
And she was okay?
Oh yeah, she was fine. So
okay, so it's good. Wow, that was fun. That's easy.
Yeah, so far I don't know, we'll see.
And LASIK, I just did it last year. It's so, you will love it. Life-changing.
Yes, I know. I wish I did it earlier, like waking up in the middle of the night to breastfeed, like where are my glasses, like that's the worst. So I'm looking forward to it.
Like doing it might not be that fun, but it's quick though. Yeah. Okay, so and then next thing I wanted to look at is the DR. So at the beginning, when we were looking at your DR in beginning of May, did you remember your measurement?
Yeah, I'm just looking back at it now where you have that here. Yeah. It was a little bit hard for me to feel like when it was relaxed, because I think everything was so like mushy. So I kind of like, but
so like you had pretty much from above to above your belly button to below your belly button, you had gaps all the way. Engage, whether it is engaged or relaxed, engage slightly better at 3 fingers, but it was still pretty deep at the 2 knuckles. And then the relax was, like you mentioned, kind of all very squishy. So the almost all the fingers, so about 4 fingers and half a finger deep. Right. So that's why we kind of ask you to do a regular submission just to make sure that those are the right measurement, because sometimes, like you say, might not be the easiest, especially for moms who have never really self-checked before. So like that's why you do it regularly to see how it compares. And yeah, and then about a month later, it was about 3 fingers and 1.5 knuckle when relaxed, and then 2 fingers, 1.5 knuckle. So like it's already a slight improvement since the first. And then we compare, yeah, it is getting narrower and shallower, everything. It's getting better every 2 weeks after that. And then here we are. This is middle of August. And yeah, it's 2 fingers a nail deep and can't really feel anything at the lower. Like, so 1 to 2 fingers is considered normal for especially if you had 3 kids, very normal. And then 1 knuckle is also very normal, especially at the belly button. Because that's where your belly button sits. You will always kind of feel a bit of a squishiness there. And also that's where we stretch the most from pregnancy. So, but your upper and lower, it's pretty much, you can't feel anything. This is like even half a nail, so it's not really anything. Half a finger.
I just wasn't sure. I'm like really trying to like push it in to see.
Yeah, don't force it.
So yeah, there's a bit of resistance. So I was like, okay, like I think maybe just have, like, I don't know, but so I feel like it's pretty good at the top. And
look at that, like such a big improvement here. So congratulations on that. Like, how do you feel?
I feel pretty good. Before, like if I was to do any sort of like crunch or like, I would feel like maybe it's all in my head that I would feel like, the core is really weak. But now, like, just exhaling really quickly and then getting up like that, like I feel totally fine. Any sort of like, like a plank or a push up, like I feel totally fine and pretty strong still. So I feel much better. Not like everything's like hanging out. Like, I feel like there's like more tone, and I can actually like, engage everything and keep it tighter. So
and I can see some more definitions on your upper body, on your arms. I can see your upper body only on the screen, but like I can see you've been doing some weight.
Like for the exercises, like I can't remember which one, like the upper body one where we do a lot of stuff on the ground, like that one. I really just try to like up the weights because I like to challenge myself more, and I'm feeling pretty good. So
strength circuits. So you're doing scissor, the push-up. There's no problem on that with the doming, bulging.
No,
you submitted some videos, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I think so. I remember looking at it. Yeah, I mean, you did really well there. I wanted to talk about, because you have done a lot of programs before you joined this program. So how do you find that comparison, or like what really made a difference for you this time?
Honestly, first of all, I'd like to say thank you so much for the accountability. I think that was my biggest thing with the other programs, because like before, you just sign up for it and then they just give you these exercises and you're kind of expected to do it. And the community wasn't as, I guess, involved, or maybe they were, but it was just such a large community where it's like you don't really feel, I don't know, comfortable maybe like sharing a lot of your struggles or I don't know, your videos with other people. So then those programs I thought like maybe it wasn't for me, but this, like I was accountable, like every day I had to do certain things. The check-in every week was really good. And like, say if I was like a little bit slow to respond, I would get a message like, hey, how's it going? A little like nudge. So then like, okay, yes, I have to respond. So I really appreciated that. Just the care that you and your team showed to, I guess people in this program, I really appreciated that. So that was, for me, that was the biggest difference between your program and other programs. Where we could actually like, have, almost real-time conversations and check-ins with you guys. So that was really helpful.
The interactions, right? Knowing somebody actually care, knowing a real person is actually on the other side of the screen, looking at you, looking at your videos, looking at what you did, whether you did it or not.
Exactly. And the detail that Natika, like she would like freeze frame everything and like write details. Like, you know, she put so much effort into it, and I really appreciate that. Even though I didn't submit so many videos, but she always like nudged me to, and I just never got around to it. But yeah, like I know other programs, I don't think they take the time to do that. You know, it's just like sign up for this, like here are the exercises, and kind of like that's it. So yeah, so this was a difference for me. And I guess now, because there's a bit of change in my body with like not breastfeeding anymore, I guess I need to like recalculate and kind of adjust to, I guess, a new plan.
Yeah. Would you say the portion control was pretty simple to prep food or prepare, or like to eyeball on the food that you needed to eat, knowing what kind of fit into what categories? Or would you say it was like a steep learning curve for you?
Yeah, it was more so that, because before, you know, I felt like I could eat whatever. It didn't really, you know, bother me. But then, yeah, at the beginning, I was like, oh man, I can only eat this much. And like, I was still so hungry. And maybe because like then I was doing more activities. So, you know, a lot of changes there. But now I'm able to, yeah, eyeball it a little bit better and be more like I keep track of it more in my mind during the day. Yeah, a little bit better. But, you know, like, you know, sometimes with like Chinese food, a lot of it's like all mixed together. So it's like, it's hard to really be like, okay, I can only eat like only this much of carbs and this much of protein. So I have to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Chinese food, I know. It's like veggies and meats always like mixed together, or carbs, or like a fried rice. Like how are we gonna take out the shrimps from the fried rice, or the chicken from the fried rice?
Yeah. So sometimes like if I just scoop like the rice, I'm like, well, if you take out all the other stuff, it's maybe like 3/4 of the cup. So
is right. Yeah. Which I still find it still a good like it's still a good understanding for us to know how much we actually eat.
Yeah.
Like otherwise you would just be scooping it to your bowl, which is full, like a Chinese bowl, like we have use a bowl and it's like full, and that's where it's supposedly that portion, but not really if you're eating carbs, rice noodles all day long, and bread and everything, right? So exactly. Now we kind of we have how many yellow, how many green, how many red, so we have already calculated in our head, and it's like it takes time. I get that learning curve where like it's always there's always going to be a bit of a bumpy road in the start, and then now it's more like you could eyeball it, but at the same time when I see clients start to eyeball, then their curve starting to like the weight curve starting to stagnate, because the mindset, their brain is smarter than them. They're like, oh no, it's a little bit more, eat a little bit more, and then you kind of throw yourself up. So then always tell them you need to go back and actually use the portion cups or containers and actually look at it, because yeah, right, it's actually much more. Then they realize it. Yeah, but some point I want it to be sustainable for all of us. It's nobody will be using that all forever, but at the same time it's like it's a very simple formula to use, and even if you gain a bunch of weights back, for example, for whatever reason, you can always bring it back because now you know how to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Like I was thinking like, yeah, maybe I should try to be like a little bit more aggressive with that again, you know, just like really portion it out.
Yeah.
And see if it'll help at all. But
yeah, and even help your husband too. I love that he kept you accountable.
I know. His thing is like, you know, we eat rice all the time, and now he just like he tells himself, well, I don't even like rice, but he loves rice. But he has to tell himself so he doesn't eat too much. And it actually has helped. Like he's like, it's okay. Like he just has to tell himself, you know, eat other stuff, like more veggies or protein, and he's totally fine. So yeah.